Good morning, everyone, and thanks to join a session on optimization in energy management systems. Myself, Akhilesh Kumar, Assistant Manager, Application Engineer for Bathworks Products in Design Tech Systems Private Limited. So today we will see two demo. First demo will be optimization of solar panel to get the higher efficiency from solar panel, what we can do, how we can optimize that. So we are going to discuss. And second demo, which we will see optimization of hybrid energy management system. So here we will have a power from grid and we will have a power from renewable energy as well. Photovoltaic also we are going to include in this case. And these two examples which I am going to show you that are implemented in the real world. So it's not just a simulation in software. Both examples are implemented in the real world. Okay, so I will use the MATLAB and we will see the complete designing and simulation of this solar panel as well as the hybrid energy management system, how we can optimize that things. Okay. Okay. So these are some applications, or you may say that's a source of the energy as well as where energies can be utilized, right? It can be electrical vehicles or charging stations. Right now, let's say if you visit to your relatives or in the hotel, first of all, you seek for the mobile charger pinpoint, right? Plug somewhere else. That's where you can charge your mobile. But what will happen after after 10 years, you will search for the vehicle charger, that where is the plug so you can charge your vehicle. So you can imagine that what will be the demand of energy after 5 to 10 years, right? Uh, so much energy is used in the railway system also, or if I am talking about factory energy management system or home energy management system, right? Buildings energy management system or community energy management system. So lots of huge energies are used. And one of the good source which we have naturally, that is God gifted, that is renewable energy, right? So we can use renewable energy. It is never ending energy, right? Or we can some energy where the energy are used, that is lighting systems also in the vehicles or at your home, wherever it can be hotel, it can be your buildings or it can be your house, it can be factory. Lots of energies we required actually, right? These are the some applications of um, energy systems, right? So this is the current scenario of electrical energy. Can you imagine that at worldwide average rate of 12 billion kilowatts every hour of every day of every year energy is produced. So every hour of every day of every year, 12 billion kilowatts energy are used. And more than 80% of that power generated is being reprocessed or recycled in the different form. So for that we use the power electronics, different kind of converters, right, to transform the energy from one form to another form. And what is the loss of energy, what is happening right now? It is estimated that the power wasted, only I'm talking about the desktop PC, it is estimated that the power wasted in desktop PCs sold in 1 year is equivalent to 17,500 megawatt power plants. The power which is wasted, right? So also it is estimated that with the widespread use of efficient and cost-effective power electronics technology, the world could see a 35% reduction in energy consumption. So if you are from power electronics, it is your uh, uh, you may say that it is your responsibility that you have to design such kind of power electronic system that it can be energy efficient and we can save the energy as well, right? So before going for deploying actual plant, we do a modulation and simulation. Why modeling and simulations are required? First, we will discuss about that to get a better understanding of the systems, structure and interference connections, right? What kind of structure of my plant is there? What kind of interference connections are available there, from where we can give the input, from where we can give the output. As well as once we are going to deploy, design any kind of power system or energy management system, uh, it has to be a robust with the environmental conditions. Why? Maybe some in summer it is a sunny day, right? In rainy season it is a cloudy day. So once we are getting the energy from the renewable sources, our model have to be robust, and it has to work in any kind of environment conditions. A response to the user input also. Let's say that I set the temperature 26, I expect the same temperature from my AC, right? So this kind of analysis, it is not possible to do in the real world. First, we require to do simulation virtually in the software. Once we are happy with that, we can deploy such kind of models in our hardware, right? And why this is important? Find and fix the bugs early. If there are some kind of bugs, we can identify the bugs, we can fix that bug, right? Test system under conditions difficult to replicate in the real world. So as I told that sometimes it happens that we can't find out the issues in the real world. So before that, we can test on the different conditions, and we can estimate, or we can extract the issues which we are facing, and further we can modify that kind of things, right? And why is that important? Because early testing and fixing bugs early saves a lot of money. Of course it will save the a lot of money. If you are working with the real hardware in the real world, maybe once it is designed and the output which you want and you are not getting from there, then you have to start again from the scratch, and you have to purchase the every components again, right? So it will be huge time taking and a lot of money you have to spend on that. So why not to do a simulation virtually and then go for the hardware designing, right? Okay, I am going to use the Simulink. So I have a question from your side. How many of you have used Simulink? You can just write in a chat box. If you have used, you can write yes, or if you haven't used, you can write no. Okay, many of you have used Simulink. That's good. Okay, fine. So maybe some of you are not aware about Simulink. So let me tell you what is the Simulink. Simulink is used for the model-based design. Model-based design, again, uh, designing the model virtually, generating the code, deploying in the hardware, and testing with the real plant, as well as deploy your controller or your optimization algorithm in the hardware, so it will work in the real time. So design and simulate your system in Simulink before moving to the hardware, right? Not Simulink only not provide the designing or simulation only. You can generate the C++ code, you can generate the embedded code, you can generate the HTL code, or you can deploy in a hardware your model, whatever the subsystem you want to deploy and you want to interface with the real plant. Okay. So these are some applications of Simulink. Either you are working on wireless communication, motor and power control, control systems, signal processing, robotics, advanced driving assistance system, image processing, and computer vision or IoT kind of thing. So the complete this kind of applications you can design in the Simulink. And if I'm talking about industries, lots of industries they are using Simulink for their designing and testing purpose. So in any big company, if I'm talking about Tesla, or if I'm talking about any automotive Indian company like Tata, Mahindra, right? And huge applications are there on electrical vehicles also. So lots of modules are added in MATLAB to design hybrid kind of vehicles, electrical vehicles, right? So or conventional vehicles, any kind of things you can design. There are set of libraries I will show you later how you can use that libraries to design your model node. Okay, what I want to show you here, this is the solar panel, right? Right now, sun is directly focusing this solar panel. But what sun is rotating, and I want that the solar panel will also rotate with respect to the sun. So we can get the high power from that solar panel, right? So this complete modulation I am going to show you that with respect to sun, I want that my solar panel will be also moved. And what is the optimization here? That is a big question, that what thing I am going to optimize in this case. Okay. I have to move the solar panel with respect to sun movement, right? So to get that optimized output, I require a controller and motor, right? And in the controller, there are some kind of parameters. So we want to optimize the parameters to get the desired output. Desired output is what? Angular displacement of the sun, right? So these are the components which we require to design a complete system. Panel, we require to design. We require to design motor because torque will be provided from the motor to the panel. So panel will move with respect to the sun. Okay, we will get some errors also. So to minimize that error, we require some kind of controller. So we are going to design a PI controller here, and we'll discuss why we are going to design a PI controller as well. Perfect. So first we will start to designing the panel and then motor. So I will just design a panel because of time being. So I will just show you how you can use the Simulink. So this is the panel equation which you see here. And you see that T is the torque here, theta is the angular displacement here. And this is a second order differential equation, right? Ordinary differential equation. And this is the motor equation. So you see that we are providing the voltage to the motor and I is the current. So once we give the voltage to the motor, motor will generate the torque and that torque will be provided to this panel. Okay. And J is the inertia of this. Yeah. So two ways you can design. Either you can use the mathematical equation or you can use physical modeling for that. If you know the basic components of this solar panel, that is also possible. Or ready-made blocks are also available of PVA. You can use that also to design. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to switch in MATLAB and I'm going to design this equation. So here I have, before that, if you are saying the MATLAB first time, this is the command window of MATLAB, or it is also called the command prompt of the MATLAB. So anything which you define here like this, it will be appeared here. And this is a workspace of MATLAB. Whatever variable you define, it will be appeared in the workspace, and that is the current directory of MATLAB. Okay. So there are some plot options available. Let's say that this variable I want to plot. Simply I will select, and whatever the supported plots are available, it will be visible directly. So simply I can click the plot and you see that it will be plotted, right? So different plots, depends on you that what kind of plot do you. If I want bar plot, just simply I will click on bar and I will get the bar plot. Okay, there are some, just wait a minute. There are some applications available here. So let's say if you don't want to write a code, you can use this applications, these apps. Like if you have to design a complete control system, so you can use this, right? If you have to tune the control system, you can use the control system tuner. There is a PID tuner, right? Somebody is working on machine and deep learning. And if you want to compare your machine learning with multiple algorithms like support vector machine, regression tree, or random forest, so you can use these apps and you don't have to write a single code. Automatically your data will be executed for every algorithm, and you can get the accuracy from all the algorithms which are available there. So once you install the MATLAB, you will get these apps for that. Okay, so let me show you the library which are available in Simulink first of all. So you see here, from here, if I have to design a mathematical equation, I will use this Simulink libraries here available. So if I explore that, you see if I go in sources, we have a sources available here, right? And same to visualize our output or to save our output, there are some blocks available like scope, or if I have to save to file, then these files are available. For the mathematical calculations, we have this math operations blocks available here. Addition, multiplication, trigonometry, polynomial, so we can use this block. Okay, this is based on the mathematical equation, and this is also called first principle modeling. Okay. Second, let's say that I want to use physical components to design my system. For example, if I click on the SimScape, you see that what kind of libraries are available there. Driveline, somebody is working on mechanical, somebody is working on electrical, fluids, foundation library, 3D modulation, mechatronics, right? So these libraries are available here. And if I explore this more, from here, if I click on electrical, and you see that this physical components are available. So these are bidirectional. Simulink models are unidirectional, but it works on the top of the Simulink. Okay, so these are the libraries available. Same for the sensors. If you want to measure something, sources are available. Okay, if you have any questions, you can write in a Q&A. So at the end of the session, we will discuss about questions. Okay. So you see that, and the good thing is that you can interface from one domain to other domain. If you want to design electrical with the mechanical, that is possible. We can do that things, right? And you see that there is a BLDC motor also available here, brushless DC motor, right? So if I want to use advanced electrical libraries, just I will go in this electrical one, and you see that these are the connectors available here, and this is the BLDC control. That's very important. Lots of research work ongoing on how we can control the BLDC. And this is a converter controllers available, right? And if I go more here, um, here, this is the induction machine controls available here, right? If I want to use some libraries from electromechanical, we can explore from here. So this is asynchronous machines, right? This is brushed motors. This is mechanical components available. Mechatronic actuators are available here, right? So these are the libraries available. With this number, if you want to use, I mean, so electronic systems, so we have this electronic systems also available. I was talking the second generation of electrical system, that is with Isnabar and everything, right? So here we have this blocks available, and this is the blocks from power electronics. Just we have to drag and drop, and we have to just connect that thing. That's all. Power grid elements are also here. If you are working on transmission line and energy distribution, we can use from here. Okay, so these are the libraries which are available here. Next, what I am going to do, just simply, I am going to design one model of this panel, which I was talking about, right? So this is the equation actually, which I have to design here, panel. So I am again switching here. So I have to open the Simulink from here. Simply, I am just going to open the Simulink. I am going to start from the blank model. Simply, I will click on the blank model here. Okay, if I have to write some comments here, so here is the option. Just I will select this. Simply, I will paste here, and to make it visible, I can increase the width of it. Okay, so let me increase the more width. So it will be visible for you also. And this is the goal. So this is the equation I am going to design. You see second order differential equation is there. I have to calculate the angular displacement, that is the theta of this. Okay. Okay, so the inputs are torque, KD is the constant, inertia and all that blocks. I will go in the library block browser, and this is part of the Simulink. I require a two integrator. Two time when I integrate, I will get the angular displacement, right? So let me check where we have integrator. So here we have the integrator, right? So just simply, I am going to use this integrator. So to integrator I require, just I will right click on the mouse and I will drag it like this. Okay. And here you say that KD is multiplied and 1 by J is multiplied. To gain block I require. So if I know the block name, simply I can search it from here. So I have two gain, so I will simply drag it like this, and I have two gain available here. Okay, now you see that here torque is added here. Yeah, see T is there, right? So we require a one constant block as well. So I know the block name. Simply I can search it from here. So we have this constant block also available. Okay, to visualize the angular displacement, I require a scope. Simply I can search it from here. I have the scope here also. So what I am going to do here, first of all, let's say that here I assume that I have theta, just wait a minute, theta double dash here, theta double dash I have. After one integration, here I will get the theta, right? Theta dash. Okay. And here I will get the output that will be theta. So what I am going to do here, just simply, I am going to connect this scope to visualize the output. That's all. And here we have theta. We are going to make this equation, and you see that t from t kd d theta by dt is subtracted. So d theta by dt we are getting from here. Let's say that this gain block is kd. I am going to rotate this, and let's say this is kd, and I require one sum block also to add this part. Sorry, to add this part. Okay. So simply I can search from here sum block. I have this sum block available here, and let me maximize this so it will be visible for you also. And I will just simply double click on this. One is plus, and let's say that another is, I have to subtract. So just I am changing the sign of that, and I am going to add here. Perfect. It is added, and you see kd d theta by dt is subtracted, so it will be added here. Let's say this is torque T, and I am going to add this also. Perfect. So or everything is fine. One thing more, 1 by z is multiplied here. So let's say this is the 1 by z, and I added here, right? Okay, so now here will be theta double dash. So perfect. Our model is designed, right? Now we are going to give the name for every block so we can remember that. So this is T. So simply I will go here. I will define this as T, and T is undefined. That's why we are getting this warning here. So from here, if I click on this here, this three dot, and there is the option to create the T. Okay, so I am just providing T right now, let's say 5. The torque value is 5. Just simply I will click create. And now you see, if I switch in the workspace, T is defined already in my workspace as a 5, right? Okay, this is the T here, and this is KD, right? So let me rename it as a KD. Then I will click in this three dot. I will go in the create, and here let's say KD value is 2, 3 only, right? So simply I am going to apply this well as okay. Now we have 1 by z. This is the 1 by z, right? This is very important because if you don't define your block name by the variable name, later you will forget that what is the that parameters there, right? So it's very important to provide. So let's say inertia is 100, something like that. Okay. Uh, Now my model is completely designed here right now, and all the parameters which I have defined, I have in the workspace. So this way we can give the user inputs, right? Okay, now this is my panel. So what I can do, simply I will select that, and here I can create the subsystem, and I can name this. This is my panel. Perfect. So we have designed the panel, and you see that how fast we can design in the simulation. Now the next part is testing of this panel, right? So torque is my input which I am providing from the motor. So next step is to design the motor, right? Okay. Also, I want to log this data. So simply I will select this, okay, from here, and I will go in the signal, and there is option log signal. I want to compare with different torque, let's say. Okay, like this industries, they are using that different value, they are changing and they are comparing that. Now I am going to run this for 10 seconds. And here we can see the angular displacement here. Okay, so it is simulated, and when I go in the data inspector here, a new window will be opened, and from here we can visualize the output of the panel. So this is the angular displacement when torque was 5. Let's say that in the workspace, torque is 1, not 5. Just I am giving the 1 and I'm just going to run this again and I want to compare when torque was 5 and when torque was 1. So this is when torque was 1. This is the last run, and the archive, that was the previous run. And you can see the difference, right? When torque is changing, then what is the difference between the angular displacement? As well as you can go in the compare and you can compare with the second run and the first run. Just simply click the compare, select the panel, and you see that this is the difference, the last one. Perfect. So very quickly and very easily we can design that ones, right? So next is we have to design this motor part, right? So we have this mathematical equation here available. So instead of designing, I'm not, because of time being, I'm not going to design that. So I have already designed, just I'm going to show you that part. Okay. So this is still opening. So here you see, we have the panel, we have the motor. And if you have image of the panel, just simply you can right click and from here, masking, there is an option add icon images. So if I have some images, I can annotate that with the image also, panel image, right? And you see this is the my panel here, right? Perfect. So we have the motor, and now to activate the motor, we require to give the voltage, right? So 1 volt we are giving, and we are measuring position and velocity. What is the velocity? D theta by dt, right? So I'm going to run this again, and here this is the position, right? So it is still opening, but the question is that uh, am I getting that displacement with respect to sun or not? So for that we require a controller, right? So this is the position and this is the angular velocity of the panel. So what I am going to do, I am going to use controller. So I will go in the library, and in the continuous group, there is a PID controller. I just simply going to add it. And what I have to control? Angular displacement, right? So I am going to remove this. Perfect. And I am going to use the again sum block from here to give the negative feedback, right? So from here, double click on this, and here minus sign, and that's apply. And now this is the PID, and PID will let me know how much voltage is required to get this desired output. Okay, so and this will be, and now this will be what? This will be the reference angular displacement. So here I can write desired displacement. Perfect. This is the desired displacement I need at the output. It is a similar kind of, let's say that you have a AC. From your remote control, you are setting the 26-degree, and the AC will give you a 26-degree output. The same thing, let's say this is by remote, and I am giving the one angular displacement, 1 unit. And here I expect the 1 unit as well. And I have used this controller also. And this is the feedback for that. Perfect. So this is the feedback here, and this is the PID controller. So we are not going to use PID, we will use PI. Why we will use PI? Let me little bit brief of PI and PID controller. Let's say that if I have to design the drone and I want that my drone will go up only, not down, means in one direction only. In that case, we use the PI, because integral part will calculate the past value and it will push up. Okay. I want my drone will go down only. In that case, we will design the PD controller. Differential will calculate the future, it will push down. But I want that my drone can go up and down. In that case, we will design the PID controller. But in this case, panel will go in one direction only. So that's why we are going to use the PID controller. And it is the proportional value, it is the integral value. Default is 1. Okay. And what I am going to do, simply this input which I am giving from here, I am just adding it here to compare that the same desired displacement I am getting here or not in this graph. So I am going to run this again. We are not getting. That's the problem. Here you see this yellow one, that was the desired one, and the simulated one, this is coming. We are not getting. So we require to tune this controller, right? So let's switch here and let's see that what issues we are facing here, right? So it will happen in with respect to sun as well, sun displacement. So here you see, here is my panel, here is my sun, right? This is the sun, okay? And this is the error. This direction is here. And you see that sun is rotating earlier than panel. So there we are getting the error. So in that case, we have to optimize the parameter of controller, right? So let's do that. So I want that my model will be completely like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to switch here. I'm going to tune this. Tune this means optimize the parameter of this PI controller, this proportional and integral value. Okay, so there is the option for tune. So just simply I am going to click the tune. Once I will click the tune, automatically my model will be tuned. We don't have to do anything. So what is happening now? It is linearizing the my plant, complete plant. Once it is linearized, and you will see that P and I value will be changed. So it's taking a little time because it takes time to linearize this complete model, non-linear model. Here we have this tuner. Okay. Now you see, after automatically tuning, let's see the parameter. From here, there is an option show parameters, and you can increase or decrease the response time of the system, and you can increase and decrease the aggressiveness of this, transient behavior of the system also. So right now you see that P value is this, integral value is this, rise time is this, settling time is this, overshoot is this, peak is this, gain margin, phase margin, everything is given of this complete system, right? And now before P and I value was 1, 1, now we have this. And you can control these values also using optimization. So right now, this is not our agenda. I am going to update on this block. So once I will click update and you see that this is updated. Perfect. Once it is updated, I am going to run this again and I'm going to check that desired output I am getting from simulation or not. And you see that perfectly we are getting with the input which I wanted, and that input I am getting. Now, the last part of testing is that we are going to check with the actual sun position data that it is working on that or not. Once it is working, we can deploy that controller in a microcontroller using this simulink. That is the complete modulation which I am showing you. So right now we are not going to deploy in a hardware, just simulation part I am going to show you. Okay, now you see here that the complete, the yellow one which was desired one and the blue one is simulated one we are getting, right? Okay, so it is still running. I'm going to close this. Okay, next is we have to check this with the actual sun position. So I am going to close this model. Let me show you the data which I have of sun position first of all. I am switching here in MATLAB. Okay. If you have any questions, you can write in the chat box meanwhile. Okay, whenever I have time, I will reply that. Fine. Okay, the data I have of sun position here. Let me plot that data. Okay, this is the sun time and this is the position. And you can take sun elevation also if you want. So just I am using sun time and sun position. And simply I am going in the plot. And this is the plot. This is of around 15 hours because sunset, sunrise, the duration between the maximum is 15 hours only. So this is the actual sun angular displacement in daytime. Okay. Okay. So here, if I switch here, so what we have to do, we have to compare this model, this controller, test this controller with the original sun position. So it will work like this. So you see that the complete system which I want. So sun will rise from the northeast and it will be sunset in the west north. So this data I have already, this data, this angular displacement I have. So I'm going to check with this data. So how to provide the user input? Let me show you that things also. Just simply I am going here and from here I am going to open one model. This is the input here. Instead of that constant block, I am using the input. From where you will get that input? Simply, if you go in sources, there, here we have a input, right? And I have to provide the sun displacement with respect to time here. So simply, I will go in the modeling. In modeling, in model setting, this is the step which we are going to follow. In model setting, and in model setting, data import and export, input sun time means time, sampling time, and the sun position with respect to time. And these variables will be in my workspace. So in workspace, we have these both variables. That's all which we have to do here. Okay, once we have done, just I'm going to run this model and I am going to check that model. Is it working properly or not? Once I am happy with that, we can deploy that controller in a hardware. So now you see the perfectly it is following, right? Sun position, which is from the model and the original observed one. So I am happy with this controller. Everything is working fine. I want to generate a complete report for this model. Let's say I have to apply for the patent or I am writing some kind of thesis. So I will go in the app. From the app, there is a report generator. So simply I will click on this report generator. And here, this is part of the Simulink, right? So simply I will right click on this Simulink default and open that report. And you see that all the informations we have in the left side and how I am going to generate the report as a HTML, as a doc PDF file, or as a doc file, Word document. So all options we have available there. Once we have done, we don't have to write the report manually. Just simply I will click on the report and it will generate a report form. This complete model will be simulated and we will get the report automatically. So that's very important. So if you are designing any application for real world, you require to show your complete report, the model you have designed, right? Or if you want to match with some standard, IEEE standard, so that report is very important. So it is generating the report. So I have choose the Word document. And so once this report will be generated, now it shows that this, you see that this complete report by my name, it is generated. And you see table of contents and what are the parameters we have used, what is the inertia value, KD value, KZ value, KT value. Complete report is generated here, right? And this is the complete model. Also. Perfect. This was the first demo. So if you have any questions, just write in a chat box. I will like to answer. Okay, so somebody is asking, please explain the ones to tune the PI controller and PID also. So that's very easy how we can tune PI controllers. Most of us are still working on 2014 version. So I think in 14 version there will be tuner, I guess. And if you are from DA, so you have a campus-wide license. You can use the latest version from there. So you need not to worry. Okay, how to tune that? Just simply, you have to go in the library, okay, and you can check in continuous group, okay. So here you can see that we have a PID continuous controller available. Just right click and add it. But remember, if you have to deploy this PID controller in a controller, so you have to choose from the discrete group PID controller, discrete PID controller, because any controller doesn't support continuous kind of data, okay. So once you will select this, right click and add it, okay. So like I have done in this example, and now I will double click on this controller, and you see that there is an option to choose controller PID, PI, PD, P or I only. So if you want to use PID controller, select this, okay, and open this tune option. So just I have opened, so I have to apply this first. Once I have applied, I can open this. So similar way, just you have to choose the controller. What kind of controller are you going to use? And you can tune this, and this tuner will be open like this. So this is the tuner. And here which you see, this is the step response of the complete system. Okay. You can increase or decrease the response time also. You see that when I increase the transient behavior or decrease the transient behavior, or increase the response time or decrease the response time, you will see the changes here also in this parameter. So once you are happy with that, just click on update the block here. Once you will click to update the block, this block will be updated. So that's all which we had to do here. How the variation of solar radiation can be added to the Simulink model. So that is very easy. You just require a radiation value or data, and you can interface with radiations also. In the next example, I will show you how to add the irradiance value of that also. So need not to worry how to do that. Just simply you can use some constant block, or you can add directly. So in the next demo, I will show you that. Okay. Okay, how to insert the sun position, sun time in input block. I have shown that already how to do that, right? You have to use this input. You will get this input from source. So here is that input, right? Just right click and add that. Okay. So once you have added this input, there is a many way. I am showing you the easiest way how to do. So once you have added here this input, okay, then next you have to go in this wheel kind of tab will be here. Just you have to click on this, okay, and you see that in data import and export, I take the input and I have provided the sun position with respect to time. So this variable you require in your workspace. So in workspace I have. So it is case sensitive. So remember E is capital. So you have to write as it is here. So first column will be your time, and second column will be the output with respect to the time. So in this case, that is the sun position. That's all which we had to do. Hope it is clear. Okay, okay. So we are going for the next demo because we have a less time, right? So we are going for the next demo. I'm just switching there. I will provide by email also. So if you have any query, okay, one thing more. The example which I am going to use next one, here is the complete model. You can download it from here. I am sharing you. I am sharing with you this model. So the next demo which I am going to show you. Okay. So this is also implemented in the real world. So just I am just providing in your chat box. Here is this. This is the complete example. You can get the complete Simulink model. This is the link from where you can download for the next demo. And this one, if you require, I will share with you. Okay, what is the further improvement in that case? You know that once sun is set, my solar panel direction will be also changed. In the morning, again sun will rise from the east, but my solar panel direction is again in the west side. So I have to switch the panel automatically. Remember, so once sun is rotating, my panel is also rotating. It is not switching again at the source point, right? So to do that, we can use state flow. There is in Simulink. So I will tell you, let you know that from where you can learn this state flow also. State flow is a graphical way to design the control logic. Okay. So we can use state flow in that case. Okay. Now optimization in energy management system, the hybrid energy management system. So let me show you, let me discuss about this IQ building. So the one of the client of MathWorks, they have designed the IQ building. Means this building has a IQ, and they have designed one optimal control strategy. Sorry, and using that, they have saved the 25% energy. So in that IQ building, they have a server. Server is connected with the optimization program. And what the variables it is taking in the consideration, what kind of weather it is, time of use, energy prices, means with respect to time, energies price of the energy is also changing. So that is also taken into consideration. And comfort zone, okay, how many peoples are there, that is very congested people or there are only few people. So based on all this data, automatically that building will manage the power and it will save the energy. It will decrease the cost of the energy. Okay. So they have saved the 20%, sorry, not 25, 20% they have saved the cost of cooling cost of this complete system. And this is implemented in the real time. And this uh, client is a has already simulated and implemented in the real time. Okay. So whether either it is sunny day or it is cloudy day, automatically this building will manage everything. Okay. So in this case, there is a two-way to design a building IQ. If I am talking about, so traditional energy management system, if I am talking about, in that case, what we can do, let's say that working time is from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? So in that case, we have set the temperature that is constant. See here, that is the constant. And this red one is simulated one. This the IQ building is giving us, right? That is the actual temperature. But what is smart energy management system? You see this one, this from 8 a.m. to 6 a.m. it is not constant. But in the previous one, we have set that temperature between 24 to 21 in this case, right? But in the smart energy management system, you see that in the morning we are cooling, the temperature we are decreasing, and later slowly we are increasing that temperature. In such a way, we can save around 20% of energy, 20% cost of the energy, right? So overall, what do we have to do here? This red box which you see, we have to convert in the green box. Means whatever the static policies are there, what is the cost per hour of the energy, how many peoples are there, what is the comfort zone, and offline data. In this case, we will have a real-time data. Manual operation, in this case, it will be automatic operation. So overall our agenda is to convert this red box to the green box and to make a IQ building system. So automatically it will detect what is the requirement of energy, what is the requirement of temperature, Based on that, the energy will be optimized and we can save around 20 to 25% cost of the energy, right? So in this case, it can be any kind of energy management system. It can be a factory energy management system. It can be community energy management system. It can be building energy management system. In buildings, it can be hotels as well, or it can be your personal home energy management system. Any kind of the system you have, you can convert your complete building in a smart IQ, smart home, smart building to do that task. And all this are very important that it have to be in a flow, demand, response, and automatic optimization. Okay. So one example which I am going to take, that is a community energy management system. So what requirements are for there? Here we are adding the photovoltaic panels also, PV panels also. We require data also from the sensors. Means whatever the real plant do you have, we require the data. Okay, we require a battery also to store the data. That's the decision logic which we make based on that. We require a optimization algorithm for that, and to store the data we require, sorry, to store the energy we require a battery systems also, as well as we require the grid also, right? So this is not only based on the grid or based on the renewable energy, that is a hybrid energy management system. If you have to design a optimize a community energy management system which will have a IQ, and automatically it will be optimized based on the optimization algorithm. So these are the data which we require to design this complete energy management system in this case. Okay. Okay, and all this process we can do completely in MATLAB. So what do you need to build a smart energy management system? Of course, you require a PV array. Maybe you can add the wind renewable energy also. We require to know the data science, right? How to pre-process the data which we are getting from real sensors, right? Predictive modeling to predict that what will be the energy required, what the energy will be required based on the current scenario, right? Optimization algorithm we require, control system we require, and the complete system designing also we require, right? There is an integrated development environment. And then virtual prototyping of this complete system. Once we have this requirement, all this data, then we require to do a virtual prototyping. And then the last part will be after the testing to deploy this model, this controller or this optimization algorithm on an embedded system or on enterprise system. Okay. So these are the challenges which we can face, that access and pre-process both engineering and business data. Not only engineering the technical data which we have from the sensor, we have to match with the business data also in the production way, we may say, right? Build data driven or physical based modeling. So two ways we can design our model. Let's say if you don't have solar panel, if you don't have a power grid in a real time, we can use Simulink to generate the data, and we can use, that is called the data driven modeling based on the data we are designing. And let's say again you don't have the solar panel, you don't have the power grid, so manually I showed you the library in Simulink. You can use that libraries to design from the scratch. That is a physical based modeling. Okay, so both ways. So if you have a data, based on data you can design, or from the physical based models also you can design. Okay, one challenge is model and simulate the equipment performance. Check the performance of the model after simulation. Design algorithms to optimally control equipment. Means design such kind of algorithms which can optimize the my complete energy management system. These are the some challenges, and these challenges can be overcome using the MATLAB and Simulink. So in this demo, we are going to discuss this three parts: building a model based on the data and physical based models, and we are going to simulate the model. We are going to calculate the performance of the model, And further, we are going to design a optimization tool for that. Okay, how to optimize that. So here is the complete system which you see. So that is the power point of connection. That is the power utility from the grid. There is a variable load available here, and there's the constant load available here. There's the solar panel, and the solar panel also irradiance we can change based on the clear day or sunny day. So you don't have to redesign again. There's a switch from where you can select it is a clear or sunny day, and that is the energy storage systems here available, and this is the energy management system here available. So if I go inside of every block, you can see here, so this is the variable load here available. So here you see that simple three-phase load is available there, and that is the dynamic control for that in that subsystem which I am talking about. Okay, and this is the constant load which I am talking about, and is a solar array. So in a solar array, we can change the irradiance based on the clear day or based on the cloudy day here. So both way we can change. So in a single model, we don't have to remodel again and again. We can provide all parameters here. So here you can see that a simple solar converter is there. That is a PV array, photovoltaic. Okay, so here we have this converter also here available. Now, in energy management system, two ways are there. One is heuristic, that is called heuristic energy management system, and that is optimization based management system. What is the heuristic? In the previous one, we saw that in the comfort zone, we set the temperature constant. Temperature was not changing between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So here we are not using the optimization kind of thing. So that's why it is called the heuristic energy management system. Second is optimize energy management system. So later we will discuss what is the optimized management system here. So do we have, if we go inside this heuristic one, this is the state flow. Here you can design the states and conditions. Let's say time is this, then I want to discharge the battery, or time is this, then I want to charge the battery. So manually, if you have to design the energy management system, and if you want to control that, you can use the state flow for that. And this is the linear programming optimization routine. Okay, so here is the here you see that this is a this part which I am talking about. This is a MATLAB function block. So let's say that some functions are not available, some blocks are not available in Simulink. You can use this MATLAB function block to write your code here available there. Okay. So to do this, if I go inside, three things we require. The variables which we are going to use for the optimization. In this case, the variable which we are going to use, that is the power from the grid, power from the solar energy, and the storage energy in the battery. Okay, so once we create that variables, once these variables are created, we require to create an objective function. Objective function is that is the cost function. What is the cost function? That is the cost of the energy. So to minimize the energy, we require the optimized parameter. From optimized parameter means the power from the solar, the power from the grid. What will be the optimized power to minimize the cost? And of course, we will have some constraints also in the optimization. I have a limitation of battery, let's say. I have a limitation from the power grid. I have a limitation from the storage. So that limitations also we have to provide there. So let me show you. And here you see that we have used switch here for the without storage and with the optimization, means heuristic and with the optimization as well here. So what I am going to do, I am simply going to switch here in the Simulink, and let me open that model first of all, and let me explain this model from here. Okay. So here I have this model. Okay. It will take a little time to open. Okay. So this is the complete community energy management system. So here you see that this is power which we are getting from the grid, right? And if I go inside there, you see that we have a simple three-phase load here, right? And this is a transformer, three-phase transformer, and this is a three-phase breaker. Only the thing is that we have to just drag the blocks from library from here, and just we have to add that. And so once you double click on any block, you can change the parameters. What is the breaker resistance in this case? What is the snubber resistance, snubber capacitance, right? Okay, now this is the solar array, and you see that how are you going to simulate this? So here is the option you can select from here. Either it is a clear day or cloudy day, right? Okay, with optimization, are you going with the chart, means heuristic way, or you are going to use the optimization method? So here is the option, that optimization method or without that optimization, right? Okay, now this is the energy storage. That is the battery where we are storing the energy. The complete energy storage system is there. The complete model is here designed. Let's say that I am going to choose the cloudy day and without optimization. And I'm going to simulate this around 24 hours, 21 hours. So here we have provided converted time in a seconds. And just I'm going to run this model. Let's see what output we are getting. What is the cost we are getting without optimization? Okay, simulation is done here. Somebody is typing here something. I don't know what is this. Okay, let me go in the data inspector. And you see here the signal. Here we have the state of charge, we have the price, we have the cost. So right now, this cost which we see here, uh, this price also we can visualize here, right? So what I'm going to do, something is ticked here. Let me untake that. The previous run about the solar panel which we are comparing, remember? So just I untake that. And here is the price. This price which we see, or this cost which we see, price is per kilowatt hour, okay? And this is the total cost which we are comparing. This cost is without optimization in this case, okay? Now, what I am going to do here, I am going to run this model with the optimization algorithm. So optimization algorithm, if I go in the energy management system, if I go in this block, in this function, and if I go here, let me show you that algorithm, the optimization one. Just I'm going to open this. It is written in the MATLAB function block. So first of all, we have defined the variables: load from the grid, load from the bed, solar panel, load from the storage power. Okay. And here is the equation that this which we have to optimize. That is the cost of that, right? And further, at this point which you see, this is the constraint of that, the limitation of battery, the limitation of solar panel and all that, right? Okay, I am switching here again in this model. And here we have, now with the optimization we are going to run. And again, it is simulated, it is still running here. Let it be executed because it will take a little time because optimization is also going on here. So we can check the cost here directly in the display block per hour or per time with respect to the simulation, that what is the cost of that. So 34% is done. So still it is simulating. Okay. Almost it is done. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can write in a chat box. Okay, simulation is done. I am going to compare the cost. This cost which we see, that is from optimization. And if I go in the archive, that is third run, and if I scroll it below, if I go in the here, and here we have this cost, right? You see the difference here, right? This one which you see, this one, this one, let me show from this color. This one, this is without optimization, and this one is with optimization. Just wait a minute. This one, this one is with optimization. You see that at the end here the cost is reduced with the optimization, right? So 20% around the cost is reduced in this case. Also, if you want to compare, just go in the compare, you can check the difference of the cost also. So I am going to compare with cost in the third run, and here we have this run. Okay, just let me compare that. So here we can compare also, and here we can check the differences also of that, right? That's perfect here. So in the same platform, in the same window, we can compare it also. So only the thing is that we require the blocks and the proper connection and provide the parameters value in the blocks and just simulate and test that. Once you are happy with that model, you can deploy this in the hardware. So deploy in the hardware, if I go in the setting from here, let's say I'm going here, and there is an option that in which hardware are you going to deploy. Remember, we are not going to deploy complete things because these are the physical things. We have to deploy this either if I'm using the heuristic way, I am going to deploy this chart, or if I'm going to use the optimization, then I'm going to deploy this block only, right? Remaining we will remove from there. So once I have here, if I go in the hardware implementation, and from here you can select the hardware, in which hardware are you going to deploy. So you have to install the support package for the specific hardware and provide the input and output pin of the hardware, and you can deploy that model and you can interface with the real plant at the same time. Okay, let me compare everything here in this example. So you see that there is a heuristic way. So here you see this is the grid voltage. This is a cloudy day. That's why very zigzag it is coming up and down the voltage from the grid because of this cloudy environment. As well as here you see the PV voltage also coming up and down so much because of cloudy day. And this blue one which you see, that is the charging and discharging of that power from the battery. So we are not taking any power between this duration. When it is day, between this part, we are taking the power. That's why it is charging and discharging the battery. So here is the complete charging and discharging of this battery. Only one and these two small peaks we have. And later in the around evening, we are not taking power from there. Nothing we are doing with the battery, neither charging, neither discharging in that case. And here you see this is the price per kilowatt hour here, right? And in the optimization case, if I switch to the optimization, here you see that we have two peaks here. First of all, we are charging, then we in the noon time we are discharging, we are taking the energy from the battery. So we can visualize like, and later in the evening we are charging here again, and this charging is from the grid in the evening because there will be no sun, right? And this is the power usage per kilowatt hour. That's the power, right? And if I compare all this here, so here you see that is a cumulative grid cost, right? And this is the cumulative grid cost in the kilowatt hour per kilowatt hour. So here you see if there is no storage, the yellow one, that's the yellow one, and you see that the cost is very high, if you see, right? And in the heuristic, that is the manual way, still cost is lower than no storage, but higher than optimization one. The red one is the optimization. So in this case also you can compare with that, this model, the complete model you can compare with here. So for the optimization, the equations which we had here. So this is the cost of the energy equation, right? G is the power from the grid, BT is the power from the battery, and ET is the storage. So this is the bound that I have the minimum and maximum. That is the constraint of that. Okay, and here is the constraints given, two more constraints. This is the lower and upper bound, this is the constraint of that, and this is the cost function which we had to minimize. And here is this cost function which you see that is written here, which we have to minimize. Right? Perfect. Okay, so in this case, except deployment part and except pre-processing the data, we have seen all these three: build data driven and physical based model in the demo. And we saw that how to simulate and check the equipment performance also we saw, and how to optimize the algorithm. We use the optimization techniques also. So we have covered these three parts in this case. Now let's say if you have advanced system, more advanced than that, how, what will be the workflow in the Simulink to follow the advanced modulation of system? So first thing you see that we require to do some kind of research, and based on that, what is the requirement to design the model? So in MATLAB, requirements are already linked to the model. So there is a Simulink requirement, Simulink check, Simulink coverage blocks are available. Means you don't have to write on a paper. Directly you can link with the requirement with that. And second, details of the model is already added in the model. So you don't have to again write in the paper. That will be the issue for the error. You will get some errors also when you write on the paper, right? So directly you can add on the model. And apart from that, we saw that we have a multi-domain libraries available. So you don't require to switch on different software. You can use the single platform to add components from the multi-domains also. And testing, this designing part, and the next part is this testing one, right? So for the testing one, you don't have to do anything, just simulate your model and testing is done, like we saw in the previous demo, right? Just we have simulated and testing is done, right? Once we have done testing, we require to generate the code. So in MATLAB, we have coder groups like C, C++ code we can generate, embedded code, BSTL code. If you are working on a big project, you can generate the libraries for these languages as well, and you can interface with that. Okay, apart from that, I want to deploy in a hardware. So in MATLAB, lots of hardwares are supported. It can be microcontrollers, it can be processors, it can be FPGAs, or it can be PLC IDs also. So once research, requirement, designing, testing, everything you can do on a single platform, that is the Simulink and integrations. So these are some resources which I will like to share with you. That's all for the session. And let me share something which is very important. So here some courses are available here that is free for everyone. You have to just register on MathWorks website. If you are a beginner for MATLAB, you can start from the MATLAB on-ramp. And if you want to do a model-based design, you can start Simulink on-ramp. Okay, similar way, we have some courses, machine learning, deep learning, which I was talking about StatFlow. So there is a StatFlow on ramp also, and SimEscape is also available. That is a physical modeling. Around 10 courses are there. And once you complete these courses, you will get a certificate also, like I have completed and I got the certificate as well from here. We can share with our students also. They can complete these courses. Each and every courses are of around 2 to 3 hours, and there is no time foundation. Anytime you can start and stop. So once you stop, pause. If you pause the course, you can start from the same, from where you paused at. Okay. So you can do the courses also. That is free. I am just sharing that link for that. Okay. Somebody is asking, please explain how to implement the logic in StatFlow. That's a good question which you asked, to explain the logic, because maybe you are not aware about that. So if I explain the logic again from the scratch, it will take a little time, means around 30 minutes to design the logic. So if you want to learn, let me show you how to design the logic. If you have a time, just I will take 2 minutes only. So first of all, you have to open the Simulink. Okay. I am just opening the blank model from here. I will go in the library. And from here, if I go in state flow, somewhere it will be. Here is the state flow. Okay. I have to add this chart there in my Simulink model. Let's say that I have to make a half wave converter on this in this block. I will drag this to states. One state is here and one state is here. So two states I require here. One is here and another is here. Okay. So this is the state, my first state. So let's say that this state name is on and this state is off. Half wave rectifier from the sine wave, let's say I am going to make. So here entry, what is the entry you have to provide? Entry, let's say here y is equal to x, and not only entry, during this, if my system is in this state, during this it will be y is equal to x. Okay. And now here in the off state, again entry y is equal to minus x. If I have to make the full wave rectifier, half wave entry will be 0. And during this state, again, y is equal to 0. Perfect. So like this, very simply, then we have to provide the conditions. So one will be like this. Simply, I will connect like this. And here I can provide the conditions also. So just I will click on this. I will go here. So in this condition, it will reach when y is smaller than 0. Okay. So this is the condition, square bracket we have to use. Okay. When y is equal to 0, that it will reach on this state, and when y is greater than equal to 0, then it will reach to this state. And you see that we are getting y is equal to x is in this case. And you see there's some warnings we are getting here. So we have to define what is y and x here. So from here, symbol pan is there. Okay, so this is the symbol pan. Here we can click on this. And this is, let's say, y. Okay, and if I go here, this is my output. And we have also x available there. I will add here and I will make it, this is x. And from here, I will make, this is input for that. So y is the output and this is input. So there is some syntax error it is saying. Okay, so here is the syntax error. This will be column. So this is a half wave rectifier. If I go here, you see that we got one input port and one output port. So simply I will go in the library, and from here I will add one sine wave from there. So I will go in the source. From here I am going to add sine wave. To visualize the output, I am going to use one scope. Perfect. So see, instead of using electronic circuit, we use this control logic, this state flow, to design this half wave rectifier, right? I am going to run this for 10 seconds and it will give me the output. So this way you can design, and there is a course also which you can do here. There is a state flow on ramp. So more advanced you will learn from that course. So there is some issues we can modify this issues. This is the output which we are getting. So this is the issue because of the step size. We have to decrease the step size so we will get the better. And if I want a full wave rectifier, simply here I can provide the minus x during the entry, and here will be the x. Here is will be also minus x, right? So in this case, we will get the full wave rectifier. because step size is big. That's why we are getting like that. Otherwise, we will get the full wave rectifier. So need not to worry. So this way we can design this state flow, and you can do that courses also. Okay. Any more questions somebody want to ask? Okay. One thing more here. I require feedback from my side. I am just sharing you. Whenever you have time, please provide me. So in the future, we will see that what kind of topics do you require, and we will like to represent that topics also. Okay. So I'm just sharing that link of feedback. Here you can write that any topic you want to do in the future. If you are interested in some topics, you can provide me this feedback. Any more question from others? Anything related to MATLAB, sibling, or the demo which I have shown just now, you can ask me. So hope you got how to create a simple
So
logic, right?
the presentation was very wonderful, related to MATLAB, and we had learned very important points. So one of the important question that was going through my mind was related to compatibility between the hardware systems and the MATLAB as a software, which is
Okay.
added to the system. So how the compatibility issues can be covered up?
Okay, I will like to share sir one link. You can check the compatibility of the hardware with this link. You can search your hardware. Just give me a 1 minute. I am just sharing you. That is the hardware support package for packages here. This here, you can check any hardware. Let's say that I want to interface the ARM hardware. Just simply I will search the ARM, and here I will get the ARM support package for embedded coder and some other hardware. So sir, I am sharing this link because more than thousands hardwares are supported. So if you ask me that if I remember all the hardware which are supported and which are compatible with this MATLAB or not, I will be not able to explain that everything. You can go through this and you can share, take from here. Okay, one thing more I will like to tell you. Maybe you will have some custom hardware, let's say, and we don't have a support package, let's say, for in MATLAB to interface with that. So there is one block called in Simulink that is called as function. Okay, so you can use as function and you can write your customized C code in the as function. So somewhere it will be here. Let me check. User defined function somewhere here. There is a as function builder. So you can use this as function builder to design a custom block for the custom hardware. So that is also possible.
So, sir, also there are some questions regarding uh, means
Okay,
the
sir,
energy.
somebody is
Yes,
asking link for the simulation of solar panel. Okay, what will I do? Sir, I will share with you. If you share me email, and then you can share to others.
yes.
I will just put in Google Drive and I will share the link and you can share with the joiner. Is it okay?
Yes, you.
Okay, okay. I will share the link. Because right now I didn't find the link on MathWorks of that solar panel. I had that example already. So I have on my machine actually. So I have to put on Google Drive and from there I can share the link. So I will share it later. So don't worry
Yes.
about it. Okay, somebody more is there that he, Mr. Ashutosh Chandra Pandey. Something you wanted to ask, but I don't understand your language. Ashutosh Chandra Pandey. Okay.
Maybe some children may be there and he or she may type something very
Okay,
randomly.
sir. No
I think.
problem. No problem. Okay, one more question.
So,
Sir, can we do energy management of a microgrid
micro.
using MATLAB
MATLAB
coding, or only Simulink is used? Okay, both way you can do. See, I have used the hybrid kind of system, the demo which I have showed right now, right? So there was a microgrid also. So instead of using solar panel, you can use only a core microgrid also. Second thing that you have asked that can we do in the MATLAB or we require a Simulink also. So better I will say that you for the optimization, if you want to do optimization, then integrate the MATLAB as well as Simulink also. Simulink is easier because we have blocks available there. So you don't have to write anything from the scratch. Okay, can you help me with the some link for microgrid simulation? Okay, one thing I will do, I will share you something. There you can search because right now for individually, I can't search and share everything. Just there is one file exchange of MATLAB. Whatever you want, you can search it directly from here. Let me share that all links one by one. Okay, this is the file exchange. Let's say I want something related to microgrid. For example, the complete simulation, the complete model I want from there, let's say. Simply I will search microgrid, dynamic operation, intelligent microgrid. Here you will get ready-made models for your reference. Fine. So I am sharing this in the chat. Okay, one thing more I will like to share, some recorded webinar from MathWorks engineers. Okay, so that is mathworks.in/videos. So here you see that here you can search the video on this link. Let's say I want something related to microgrid. In some cases, you will find out the complete model as well. You will find out the complete models also. In some cases, just only videos with explanations. Okay. So I'm sharing this link also. You can go through that. So I have shared the file exchange also and the videos also. For further, if you have any query personally, you can mail me here. I am just providing my mail here.
So thank you. So with this, I like to give the vote of thanks to our keynote speaker for the day, Sri Akhilesh Kumar. The design, he is working in design tech systems, MathWorks. So he has very explained the topic in a very well mannered way. So the topic was optimization of hybrid energy management systems. So he had covered many important points from it related to the optimization technique of the energy management system, then the modeling of the system, how to model the some of the important parameters in the MATLAB Simulink platform, as well as he had shown us how to the rotation of the solar panels position of the solar panels can be optimized. So he has very important in a very important fashion. He had covered these important points. So with this, I like to thank again Sri Akhilesh Kumar for giving his talk. So with this, I like to give the virtual ties to our the coordinator of the FDP, that is Dr. Rajiv Chauhan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Subbo. Now I would like to present this is the
Thank you,
email
sir, for the presenter.
Thank you. And this e-certificate, I will send both of them by email to you. And thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.